fucking get loud too. What the? I'm ready to jump ship. I throw you under the bus. Don't you?
I told you this right here.
Now you fucking did it.
It's game out.
Bitch. We got my daughter today. Like a freaking liar.
Can you tell me it was me?
Yeah.
We're gonna run a jury clean.
Welcome to the Game On Bitch podcast, everyone. You are joined by B, Kim, and Berto. We are fans of reality television, competition shows, anything that has to do with gaming and gaming hard and backstabbing and betrayal and lying and deceit, all for the sake of cash. So I will transfer this over to my co-host over here, Berto. Introduce yourself. Tell the people what they can expect from you on this podcast.
All right. So what's poppin', everybody? My name's my actual name is Josh, but for here, words just go by Berto here. I am a huge Survivor super fan. Same with Big Brother. I've been getting into Love Island a little bit. Love is Blind, The Circle. There are some reality shows I'm not really too much into, like the Real Housewives, but you know, that's just not my cup of tea. But yeah, you would say that I'm like the strategist guru. I'd pinpoint like every single thing and just call people out on their shit, being like, yo, like, why'd you guys do that? There's an easier way, or there's a better way to handle this out. Like, come on, let's just do something better. But yeah, that is a rundown for me. I'll pass it off to Kim.
You had one job.
Let's see what you got.
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm sorry for my background, but my lighting kind of sucks ass in this room, so we're just gonna go with it. So anyways, what was that?
Kim in the ocean.
Yeah, so I'm in the ocean.
Who lives in a pineapple under
the sea, SpongeBob SquarePants. No. So basically, I am a reality TV fan as well, but I watch Survivor, Big Brother. It started with Big Brother. I'm kind of like a strategist as well, but I love like competition game shows, but I also love reality TV, so I do watch Housewives and a few other reality TV shows that aren't competition based. But other than that, I love reality TV, so let's go.
I love that.
Okay. And what's up, everybody? It's your girl B here. I work in reality TV. I love reality TV. I watch it all the time. I'm constantly watching all the shows, Housewives, Big Brother, now Survivor with, Berto. He put me on to Survivor. So that's been fun. And I just like mess. I like drama. And I like backstabbing and deceit. So we are going to get into all those fun things on this podcast.
And Berto's here to keep B and I sane.
Right. Let's just obviously there's going to be some spice and there's going to be some chaos, but let's just actually sort this shit out and not just let y'all kill each other. But yeah,
this is not kid friendly.
No.
Yeah. So the first show we're going to be covering is The Traitors US Season 2. Super excited for that. We have some of the greatest of all time players in reality TV. I can't wait to see how they all interact with each other. It's blending a lot of my favorite shows. And so I'm excited to see, ultimately who are going to be the traitors, who's going to come out on top, and who is going to win the $200,000 cash prize.
Whew, that is going to be a very stiffy competition. I mean, haven't seen season 1 of The Traitors, but I've actually been a part of a online mini of The Traitors. I was first out, but I at least got to experience it, but I got the feeling that it's very similar to Mafia or Werewolf by Night. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. So Rob had a podcast, actually had a mini mock big Traitors game yesterday. But yes, it's very similar to Mafia, but a little bit different, only in the sense that you're just trying to guess who the traitors are. You're trying to vote out the traitors. So you have faithfuls and traitors, and you're trying to guess who the traitors are and try to vote them out. If the traitor makes it to the end, they win the money.
So basically we have 3 traitors that are chosen anonymous by the host, Alan Cummings. He's a great host. He's super funny. You might know him from Spy Kids and some other movies out there. Quirky Guy. They're all in a castle in Scotland. The traitors are chosen at random while everybody is blindfolded. And throughout the competition, all of the contestants will be competing in challenges to collect money for the prize pot at the end of the game. The traitors will have an opportunity to murder the competition in the middle of the night, okay, in the darkness, and basically chop. The faithfuls, their duty is to figure out who the traitors are, and they do this by having a round table banishment ceremony. So at the banishment ceremony, that's when shit goes down. That's when they're like, I think you're a traitor, bitch, because XYZ. They're pointing fingers at each other. They're spilling everybody's tea. They're getting in each other's faces, accusing each other of being the traitor. Now, if they successfully banish a traitor, that's found out at the end, because the person that is banished ultimately reveals whether or not they are a faithful or a traitor. But sometimes people's reads are really wrong and really horrible, and they'll end up banishing a faithful, which, you know, you're only coming at your numbers at that point, and the traitors live to kill another day. So really good stuff, really exciting stuff. I love the show. I think it's beautifully filmed. I love the characters that they got. The first season, it was kind of half normal people and half reality stars, but now we have all reality stars, and I just cannot wait.
I think the switch up of doing all reality stars was the way to go on this show. I think you have to do that, to be honest. You either have to do all newbies or all reality.
Yeah, like you don't want to
opinion.
have a first season as like a fans versus celebrities situation. Like it just doesn't, like, you want to leave a good lasting impression. From like my understanding, like the reception was well received. That's why they got a season 2. But yeah, like I agree. You need to either have an all newbie cast or an all returning cast. You don't need a fans be faves like very early on. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel like the first season was kind of like, it was really good. It was, but I think it would have been even better if they would have brought in all reality TV, because I don't think any of us remember any of the people that were not reality
I remember
TV
the
people.
one dude, Christian, who was the traitor. He was awful,
But that's the only other person that I remember, really. Everybody else was kind of just the people that brought it for me were the reality TV people. So I think that's the way to go in this situation.
All right, so let's get into the cast. It is a star-studded cast. We have a bunch of people from, Big Brother, Survivor, The Challenge. We have RuPaul's Drag Race, Peppermint's on. We have 4 Real Housewives joining the cast, 2 people from Love Island, somebody from The Bachelor, Dancing with the Stars. Like, we just have a huge range of people who have been on TV or have some sort of celebrity. And I'm just curious to see, how they're going to play a game, because not everybody on this cast has a competition show background. So some people might surprise us with how strategic they're going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen on like what the cast is going to be. I know I'm using Wikipedia for this, but this is basically the cast names, and like I'm probably going to go into each of their picks. Well, some of them don't really have them, but like I think we could probably figure it out from some of them. But I will go into the order of like how it's presented. So we have John. Wait, hold on. Wait, this is season.
No, that's
this is the right one.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's the right one.
Okay. Like I was a little confused. I was just like, wait a second. Former Speaker of the House of Commons. Like,
Right.
I'm like, that completely threw me off. But okay. So first off, we got John Bercow, who is a British former politician who was the Speaker of the House of Commons from 2009 to 2019, and he is in the Traitors season 2. I don't like, that was a weird choice as a start. I don't know why, but y'all can fill in for that. That is interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't know much about John Bercow. I think it's interesting that they would put a politician in here, but it's not that far off, because you do have to kind of play to house politics in this. So maybe he has the charisma to kind of partner up with people, work together with them, and depending on what side of the team he's on, if he's a traitor or he is a faithful, maybe he'll be able to use his background in politics to make it to the end. I'm curious.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting cast choice. I don't know if they just ran out of people. There's plenty of options, so they must have casted him for a reason, because of all the options they could get. So maybe it's,
What's his
Pace,
name that was
something.
on Celebrity Big Brother season 2? Like it wasn't Omarosa, it was the other guy, but he was there as like a gag for like the first round.
Oh yeah, Chris
Oh.
something, right?
Scaramucci.
Oh,
Yeah.
Scaramucci, yeah.
Anthony
Yeah.
Scaramucci. Yeah. He was freaking, charismatic and stuff. So
I mean, like you could tell that he wanted to play, but like he was there for a twist. So yeah, like I think they were trying to find their new Omarosa Scaramucci, and like they think this guy would be the good fit for it, but I don't know.
I don't think Berto, I don't think you should share the screen. I think we should just go in order. You can just say the next person and where they're from, and then we'll go from there, because then it's gonna take away from what we got going on up in here.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, just go to the
I
I
next
tried
person.
something. It's the first round. Like,
Right. It's fine. We
Unless
can
you want to
edit this.
share the photos.
We can
If you open
edit,
up
we can
Twitter,
edit.
yeah,
if you open
yeah.
up Twitter, it's on there if you want to open those, because those are better.
I can do that.
Because those photos are better, the one that B sent to the group chat.
Yeah. You know what? I will do that. Let me actually pull up. Let me see. Oh, there you go. This is so much better. Okay.
Yeah, so then you can share that, and that's better because then that way we can reference back.
Okay, perfect. So like, we'll start off with like technically we already started with all the guys, so we'll go with all the guys first. So I'll share my screen. We'll do here.
Yeah, you can share your screen with that. Yeah, because there's some stuff in the photos that people are talking about as well. So
Got it.
I want
Okay,
people to see
so
the
can you all
photos.
see that?
Yep.
Okay, well, since technically we started with John, I guess we'll just go up. So we got Deontay, who is a boxer.
Deontay Wilder. Don't know much about him, but
yeah.
curious.
Also very interesting casting choice. I mean, I feel like they could have done maybe somebody a little bit more well known. I don't know, but I just feel like it's a very interesting casting choice.
Mm.
I mean, I've definitely heard of this guy. I don't know too much of like his boxing career. I don't follow boxing, but I definitely have heard of him. Let's see what he's got going on.
Okay.
I feel like he because didn't they cast a boxer on the challenge one year?
They also casted a boxer on Big Brother with Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, Chuck Liddell. But who was the other one that they casted on the challenge that was like an active boxer or MMA fighter? I don't remember their names, but I think there's like some options that they could have done here with this guy. Again, it's kind of an interesting cast choice because I feel like it's very, very heavy reality TV. And then you throw in like two people that aren't reality TV. So it's just kind of an interesting twist here on this. I feel like they should have done all reality TV, but that's just my opinion.
All right. Well, I mean, he's got, the World Boxing Council heavyweight title from 2015 to 2020. So he must be a really good boxer to be, a world heavyweight champion for sure.
I mean, he is probably super competitive, which is good. You know what I mean? He probably is very competitive. He's somebody that you're probably going to want on your teams in the challenges. Who knows how smart he is, but he's probably got that competitive nature to him. So that's good.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think, to go back to John and then go with the Deontay, like we have to see if they're like, if any of them are a faithful or a traitor. I think,
Okay.
I think with John, he can go either way. I'm leaning towards oh, that's a tough one. I'm leaning towards traitor here, but only because again, politicians are just made for that. But then again, that's a little too easy. So I think they might give him faithful, but I'm gonna like throw a 180 and be like, you know what? John could be a traitor, and then Deontay is 1000% faithful. You could just tell. Like, I don't think they would put him as a traitor compared to the rest of the people on this cast, but maybe I'm leaning something different. But hey, who knows?
John is giving me first boot. I don't know why. I think it's going to be hard for him to relate to the cast. I mean, they're mostly American, right? We have maybe one other British person on the cast. I think he's older than everybody else as well. So
Yeah.
let's see if he's going to be able to integrate with the rest of the people that are on the cast. But I could see him maybe, I don't know, becoming friends with some of the guys.
I
in
mean, I
there.
see him being like a first or second boot, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I just feel like he's not going to fit in very well, which is why it's a very interesting casting decision, because I feel like he's not going to fit in very well. I feel like if you notice, a lot of these people are from the same shows or from the same circles, right? And he's not part of that. So I think John and Deontay have quite a bit of an uphill battle to try to squeeze in there. But I do think Deontay might have more of a little edge to squeeze in because he's younger and he's a boxer. So people are going to be like, oh, he's competitive. I want to play with him.
I'm curious about Deontay, like if he's one of those boxers that like loves to talk trash, like if he's like one of those big people that gets right in your face, is talking a lot of shit, you know, dresses really flashy, like, because if he's that kind of guy, then we're gonna be surprised to see what he brings, you know, to this game. Yeah, but by nature he looks like super competitive and stuff. I mean, you don't become a champion just chilling, right?
Well, I feel like he probably is like kind of, maybe he is like that. That's why they casted him. You know, I mean, why would they cast somebody who's going to be boring? So
yeah, I can't wait to see what these two guys are gonna bring. Okay, so oops, sorry. So moving on, we got Kevin from Bling Empire. I don't know Kevin's last name. I'm gonna look that up really quick. But I have watched Bling Empire.
Like, is Bling Empire like another one of those reality shows where it's just like Sunset and Sunset Voyage, or like Sunset what's that
Selling Sunset.
Selling Sunset. Yeah.
Okay, so Bling Empire is basically a Asian American show with fabulous, rich, over the top rich Asians. And you know, the first season was based in Los Angeles. And the second season, I believe they did do a spinoff into the New York. So they do have a Bling Empire New York. So Kevin is from the Los Angeles season, and he is kind of this fish out of water. He's like huge golden retriever energy, just like a model. He's hot, he's dumb, he's in his 30s. He's trying to figure out, you know, where he fits in when it comes to these super rich Asians that he's friends with. He's not rich himself. He was adopted by white parents and grew up in, you know, the countryside. And so he's very like country with it. You know, he's like a bumpkin compared to all these fabulous, rich friends that he has. But some things that I can say about Kevin is he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's an overall nice guy, pretty funny, but not the sharpest tool in the shed for sure.
He's giving me Kyle from last season vibes. So Berta, when you go back and watch Kyle from last season. Because that's what he's giving me. That's the energy he's giving me.
Got it.
So
well,
but
I mean,
sure
just say, what do you mean? Like, so Kyle, like what was Kyle like?
So I felt like Kyle was very like, just, I mean, he was starting to kind of figure out the traders a little bit. Like he was clocking them, but I felt like Kyle wasn't really like giving us that much. I mean, maybe he was drama. I don't know. I feel like he wasn't that smart though, Kyle, because he created a lot of chaos. And so because he created chaos, they wanted to vote him out. You know what I mean? Because he obviously was chaos. So I feel like Kevin will bring it. I feel like he'll bring it in his own way. I think he'll fit in with the group. But I also think he could be easily to slide by. So in this show, if you're easy to slide by, sometimes you end up getting the easy vote out because you're not the person that is detecting the traitors. You're not doing really anything, you know? So hopefully he brings it, but if he doesn't, I think he could go out early.
Okay.
I could see him in an Ari kind of role, really nice guy that everybody likes and is kind of, giving information to. So, but it depends because he is a sensitive guy too. So he might get into some issues with some of the other castmates.
Hmm. See, like just by looking at his casting photo with Kevin, like it's giving traitor. Like I don't know why. It's just the way, like the smirk is just like, oh yeah, that's 100% a traitor. But then the more you guys describe Kevin to me, it's like maybe he is a faithful, or maybe they're trying to give it to other people. But I don't know. It's giving traitor to me. I don't know. It's
But
just something
here's
about
the
it. Yeah.
Here's the thing though, like because you didn't see season 1, it's a little bit hard, but I feel like they give people kind of that you wouldn't expect to be a traitor role, because people are going to expect certain people to be traitors, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes I
From
feel
what-
like they do it more down low.
From what I know of Kevin, I don't think he'd be able to pull off being a traitor, to be honest. I don't think he'd be able to pull it off. If they make him one, I could see him going pretty soon. I just don't think he is slick enough to pull off being a traitor.
Okay. All right. Well,
But I really need you to go back and watch season 1, bro. Like,
I am on it. Okay, Kim, you don't need to
Okay.
tell me twice. I got it.
Right.
I will put that in my list of notes for me on reality shows I need to watch before Traitors season 2. Okay,
Mhm.
I will do
Got till
that.
Friday. You got till Friday.
yeah, you got till Friday.
Well, tomorrow's my birthday, so after
Wait.
that, I will do that. Okay,
Wait till the last minute.
wait till the last minute. Just binge
It's
watch
okay.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, we got Marcus, which is Michael Jordan's son. They got Michael Jordan's son in this. So that is-
Marcus Jordan, and he is also Larsa Pippen's boyfriend. Yes, Larsa Pippen, Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, is dating Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah.
that is crazy.
To me, it's giving like charity. Like he's there because Larsa couldn't go anywhere without her boo. So I have a feeling that Larsa got the call and was like, I need my bands there with me. That's what it's giving to me. I think to me personally, I wouldn't allow like a couple in there very long, because they're never going to vote each other out. So they're probably going to go probably the first couple boots. I think not like first boot, but I think they'll go pretty early on, in my opinion. But at least he will, I think.
The interesting thing about this game is that having a pair is not a threat in this game, because you can just kill one off in the middle of the night.
So
And then the other one is free.
So yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just feel like if their reads are really bad, and if they're kind of passive players, not able to put things together, then I could see keeping them around. I mean, who cares? They don't vote for each other, all right. But you can just murk one of them or both in the middle of the night anyway.
Yeah, like I didn't really click on the fact that like those two are literally on the same season until you both brought it up. That like those two decided to like come together in the same show. Like it's like when you're playing a Traitors game, like I'm curious to see if they're gonna make one the traitor and one a faithful, but then it's just like regardless, one of them is winning the money. So it's like a guaranteed sure thing.
Yeah, I feel like that's the hard part, is I feel like they can't really make them. I feel like they have to be either, in my opinion, I think they have to be both faithful.
Yeah,
Because
Kim and I talked about this a little bit,
Mhm.
that we think they both have to be faithfuls, because how are you going to keep a lie from your partner? Your partner is going to figure you out in a second, right? So I don't see them doing that. I mean, if they did do that, I could see them being found out really quick.
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, or I feel like the other traders, like let's say Larsa is a trader, they're gonna be like, well, we're gonna vote Marcus off. You know what I mean? Like, but the thing is, I think it has to be all 3 votes, right? I think they all have to agree.
Well, yeah, they all agree at the end, but I mean,
Yeah. So I mean, if somebody can strong arm her into getting him out, you know what I mean? But that's the hardest part. I think they both have to be faithfuls in this situation, because I think if they make one a traitor, I just think that's fair. But they could throw a challenge at him. They could throw a challenge and try to get one to be a traitor. Now, if I'm thinking of traitors, I think it would be Marcus over Larsa, but that's just my opinion. I think Larsa would be too easy to read as a traitor. I think Marcus would probably do better. People don't really know him. So I feel like if anybody out of the two would be a traitor, I think it would be Marcus, but I don't think he's going to be a traitor.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Marcus is probably gonna be a faithful.
I'm gonna say Marcus is gonna be a faithful too. I'll be surprised if Marcus is gonna be a traitor because I don't think he's gonna pull off the traitor role very well. But like, it'd be pretty spicy TV, but we'll see.
Okay,
And then
Maxim.
also,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, and like also before we pass it off to the next guy, like I just want to highlight this Twitter comment that's just so accurate. Larissa can't do a damn thing without Marcus, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She
It's giving
threw-
charity.
She threw him a welcome home party. Like if he had did a bid in prison, he was gone for 4 days.
It's
He
giving
is a
charity.
stage 5 clinger for sure.
It's
It's giving
charity.
like she got the call and was like, I can't go anywhere without Marcus. I'm not going to do it unless Marcus is on. And they're like, okay, fine.
And
So
then
we got
Marcus
stuck with
was like,
Marcus.
and then Marcus was like, well, my dad is Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan probably called some agent and was like, yeah, let's make sure my son is on this show.
Yeah.
It's giving payola, okay?
You can pale. I can't.
It's giving Riggory. It's giving daddy's money is what it's giving. So
All right, Maxim. I don't know Dancing with the Stars. Kim watches Dancing with the Stars, so I think you'd probably be the
Yeah.
best person to give us backstory on this guy.
So I think he's originally from the Ukraine, so he's Ukrainian. Him and his brother are both dancers on Dancing with the Stars. They're both married to Dancing with the Stars pros. But Maxim has always been kind of that suave guy that's dating all the girls, kind of like known as like kind of a not so like a nice guy, but like just has that Ukrainian like S to him, kind of edgy a little bit, if that makes sense. Motorcycle, like that kind of edge to him. I don't really know why he was cast. It's kind of an interesting cast for me because again, like I don't really know if he would do very well because I don't think he's really well insulated in this. But I do think that his personality is set for this kind of show if they were to cast anybody. So he's definitely like the villain of Dancing with the Stars for sure. I mean, he's settled down now. He has kids and he's married, but before that he was kind of the playboy. He dated like Karina Smirnoff and who else? A couple other people, I think. So yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
we love a bad boy. We love a villain over here, especially me.
Yeah. So he's definitely a bad boy.
I'm curious. Yeah, I want to see how he does. I mean, it sounds like he's able to like backstab, you know, if you're cheating and stuff like that, you're probably sneaky, right? By
Yeah, I mean,
nature.
I think he's definitely like cleaned up his act now, you know. So I mean, like Maxim 10 years ago for sure would have been probably really good on the show, but now he's like married with a wife and kids and stuff. But I still feel like it's probably still in him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. I think he could play up the whole Ari role though, where people really like him because he's the dad with kids and he's married and you know he's there for his children and all of that. So he might be able to play that up a little bit where like a lot of the other guys in there don't really have that to play on, like Dan does and CT does, but a lot of the other guys it's like, so he could play up that role a little bit too.
Right.
But yeah.
Is it giving traitor?
Potentially. I think.
Yeah, I think Max has a good shot of being a traitor because I think people don't really know him very well. So I think the mystery of how he would play the game is interesting. So I definitely think Max would decide to be a traitor. If he had the option, I think he would be a traitor. And I think that he would do pretty well because I think he can, I don't think people are going to suspect him that much, but that's just my opinion. So I don't know.
All right. We'll see. We'll see if Max is a traitor. Okay, who's next? Peter from The Bachelor. I don't know Peter, but I know he does not have the best reputation. He looks like a fucking smug bastard, honestly. If I'm
So
looking
his-
at, like based off of this pic.
So he's a pilot. He's a pilot. His name is Pilot Pete, is what they called him on a season. His mom is very like involved in his life. Like he does everything for his mama. He's a mama's boy. And he chose somebody, and then like there's just a lot of drama after his season because he ended up breaking up with the person he chose, and then dated somebody else, and then broke up with that person, and then ended up dating somebody who got like 4th or 5th on his season. So he's kind of that bad boy kind of player, but then also he doesn't have bad boy vibes. He's just kind of a douche. You know what I mean? Like he's not a bad boy. He's just a douche.
Okay.
So I think to me, it's giving like very like spoiled mommy's boy type boy. That's kind of what he is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Very privileged. Yeah.
Okay, so he's definitely gonna like, if he were to get the trader role, he would definitely come across as like very arrogant, based off of how I see it. But like, I think he's gonna try to like play it low key though. I don't know too much about Peter, but it's something tells me like I think there's gonna be better traders for him. But yeah, like based off of what I'm getting, he seems like he's just gonna be added to the chaos, but it's not something that like you would need someone like him, if that makes sense. Like you already have like CT, you already have Maxim, like like those two are already going to be like complete douches. But Peter, it's like not really.
So
Bananas
spoiler,
is the biggest douche
I know.
of all. What are you
Bananas
talking
is like
about?
the biggest.
CT.
But I was gonna say there's a spoiler of like Phaedra and Peter kind of getting into it in like the promo. So it's not a spoiler. It's just like in the promo.
Who's getting into it? Peter and who?
And a
Phaedra
lady named
Parks.
Phaedra Parks. She's a Real Housewife.
Major
And
Parks.
she basically said something along the lines of, "This is not The Bachelor. I don't have to kiss your ass," or something like that to him. So
Oh yeah. I remember that trailer. That's
so
fun.
it's giving like he's not going to be a traitor, but he's going to be one of the people that people assume is a traitor.
Yeah.
And probably get very annoyed by.
Right. Like
Yeah.
he's going to have people triggered type shit. That's what it's
Okay.
giving to me.
Got it. Okay.
All right, Bergie.
I know how B feels about Berkey, so I'm gonna let B go off on this one.
Yeah, B, floor is yours.
Why the fuck is this man on my television again in 2024? He should not even have been cast for fucking Love Island. He is not hot enough to be on Love Island. And then the people took pity on him and dragged his ass, I believe, to the finale. I just don't understand it. I don't understand what he's even doing on TV. I mean, from what I saw, and wasn't much, it was like he was like the nerdy guy who like was unlucky with girls and trying to get his groove back and this and that. All of the things that is just like, that's not Love Island. I don't know why the hell you're on Love Island. You're supposed to be hot, okay? But somehow he got cast. I don't know. And so, whatever. I guess he's going to be on the Traitors, but I don't know. I'm not feeling him. I'm not feeling him for the Traitors either. I just don't see what's going on. I'm hoping he's first boot because somebody's got to go first, and that would be, my ideal one. But I just don't know if that's going to happen because he'll probably play up the nice guy stuff and people will be like, "Oh, he's so sweet. I want to keep him in there," which is just like annoying. I really hope that doesn't happen again.
To me, it's giving interesting Love Island casting because I feel like there's a lot of other people that were villains, Johnny, and other people on Love Island who could have very well played this role on this season besides Bergie. I feel like Bergie's not very well known. I feel like that he could have, there's so much more that could have been casted besides this guy.
I would have easily casted Johnny over Bergie in this case because
that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Why do we have like okay, like I don't know, like I've only just gotten recently into Love Island with Love Island games. I gotta watch the rest of Love Island, but with Bergie though, it's like, why does he look like he have a square face and like he just looks like that he just doesn't want to be there? Like I genuinely don't get that.
It's giving Walmart vibes. It's giving Walmart, but yeah, I think there's like a lot of options that they could have casted for Love Island. So it's very surprising that they went with Bergie. There's a lot of other options that they could have gone with for males, in my opinion, for this spot. So I'm just kind of shocked by it. Again, he's not really giving me anything. He's just giving me like cheap Walmart knockoff vibes, and that's what I'm feeling on that. So I really don't understand the casting on this. I mean, I don't like to come after casting people, but I feel like they could have casted a lot better of Love Island USA. Person.
He didn't belong on Love Island USA, and he doesn't even go here on the Traitors either. Sorry.
Yeah, like
I thought they could have casted like Johnny better on the show. Johnny from Love Island.
I'm kind of sick of watching Johnny too over and over. I mean, there's definitely other Love Island people that you could cast. I mean, you don't need a freaking Love Island USA person, to be honest. But
I mean, they could have casted a lot better. But I think if they really wanted Love Island, they could have casted somebody else. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and like to be fair, like when Johnny like showed up in Love Island games, it's like immediately I think of Traitors. I was like, he was casted for the wrong show. He should have been on here. But you know what? We go with it, I guess.
Yeah, they should have sent Bergie's rinky dink ass to Love Island games.
Yeah,
or like he would get tossed out right away,
or just like lose his number. Casting people, just lose his number. He's not it. Sorry.
It's giving Charity. It's giving he called in and Charity was given. It's given poor. Okay.
Traitor or faithful. I'm gonna say faithful. I'm gonna say hopefully first boot.
Faithful.
Yeah, I definitely think he's gonna be a faithful. I think it's almost impossible that he's gonna be a traitor.
Now we get to the big three on the guy's side. So this is actually really spicy. We're gonna move on to CT. Shows up on the challenge.
Chris Tamborello.
So this is going to be interesting with CT here because I feel like CT gives mad traitor vibes, right? Like mad traitor vibes. The problem is that if you notice on the season, a lot of people have been on the same shows. They know each other. They run inner circles with each other. So I wonder if they do make CT a traitor because Bananas, I feel like, is not going to work with CT possibly. But maybe he will. I don't know.
I think they will. I think they will work together.
But I think one of them's going to have to be a traitor.
Yeah, like I think that I don't know about that. I think like if both of them are faithful, they both don't they both will be sus at each other. But if one's a traitor and one is a faithful, they will ironically work together. I don't know. It's just like for some reason they both could just tell with each other if of like which one's a faithful and which one's a traitor. And I don't know, like if you like seen Bananas with like House of Villains, like he doesn't like mess around. So you just know that like from CT's perspective that he either has to play nice with Bananas if he's a traitor, or he's just gonna be like, you know what, let me just cut Bananas and then let people duke it out.
The problem is I think for me personally, and I know we're talking about CT, but I'm gonna go on a little tangent about Bananas here. I feel like Bananas wants to be the only person from the challenge because that's how Bananas is. And so he's going to like flex and be like, I want to be the only macho man here. You know, like I want to be the winner of the, like, that's how Bananas is. And so for me personally, like, I don't think he's going to work with CT for long. I think he's going to try to get CT out because I think he wants to be the only male challenger on the season. But I think CT is smart and I think CT can probably integrate himself a little bit better than Bananas will. So I think it's going to be interesting because we just saw Bananas play House of Villains, but House of Villains has a lot more dynamic personalities, I would say, that fit more of Johnny Bananas than this cast. So I feel like Traitors is much more of like a under the radar game more than a loud, boisterous game that Bananas plays. So I think CT is more suited for this game. To be honest,
CT has the makings to be a perfect traitor. He is smart strategically. He is physically like impressive as well, but he's also got this thing where people love working with him. They all want to work with him. Not Bananas doesn't really have that. I mean, Bananas is often a target these days when it comes to the challenge, but for some reason, even though CT's just as big of a threat as Bananas, people want to work with him. They love him. They love the guy. I mean, how many challenges has he made it to the end, never seen an elimination? Because everybody's just like, that's Uncle CT. That's Uncle CT. Like, and he's really good with women as well. Like, ladies love CT. Like, they find him to be like charming. They think he's like this big teddy bear. So I think he would be able to pull off the traitor really good. I think, and he speaks with like authority too. So like when he's lying in these people's faces about murking them in the middle of the night, like it's more often that people are going to believe him versus like Bananas, who is like a known schemer and like just douchebag, right?
Yeah. And we're coming in here with people. We're coming in here with people that probably know their games though too. I'm sure there's people on the cast that have seen the challenge, know who Johnny Bananas is, knows who CT is. So that might be the only problem. But I do see CT as kind of one of those people. CT is CT, whether he's lying or not. Like CT just is how he is. Where some people like they play it up for TV. Like CT doesn't play it up for TV. He just is CT, right? That's just how he always has been.
Yeah.
So part I feel like for this game, it's better.
Part of the benefit too of having like somebody like Bananas in the cast is that that's going to be somebody everybody looks at it as like that motherfucker's a traitor. Like they're not going to trust him for a second, So I just feel like when it comes to who will be the last male challenger standing, I mean, depending on if either one of them are traitors or not, I do think CT goes longer in this game than Bananas does.
I think there's the only possibility for me, I think, is the traitors trying to murder him at night, because I think Bananas somehow seems to slide his way through. And so I think if CT is a traitor, I think he'll take the opportunity to murder him and not try to have him go through a banishment, because I think CT knows that Bananas can talk his way out of a lot of shit. And so I think the best option for CT would be for him to murder Bananas, in my opinion.
I don't see either of these guys going early though.
No.
Yeah, so here's what I think though. I think if you really want to put the target on CT, you kill off Bananas first. And then everyone's gonna look at CT, be like, yep, it's very likely CT to kill Bananas. Or some of them could just be like, or maybe they're framing CT, like, and then CT will have to talk his way out of that. But yeah, like I think it is a very interesting to have both Bananas and CT. Like I know we're having them as a collective at this point, but they're like the way that I see CT is that like he just like he's like very blunt based on like how I see it, but while Bananas is a little more sneaky. I think that if everyone is sus at Bananas, they would either take the shot at him first, or they let him skate by, or they kill him off first. But if they kill him off first, they frame it on CT. But if one goes and the other one stays, then it's one or the other. So it's like, if you want to pin a target on somebody, you have those two right there.
But I think it depends if they come in like working together, right? And they're like basically actively working together. They don't have any animosity. I don't think people are going to be like, oh, CT killed Bananas off if they're like besties.
Which I do think they are going to work together. I know you guys said you don't think they'll work together. I actually do think they will. Again, obviously the roles haven't been decided. Just to kind of sum up CT, it's giving traitor. It would be a great trade. He would be a great trader. I think he will easily pull it off way better than probably Bananas or, some of the other people. I think,
but the thing is, will Bananas suspect CT? That's the thing.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I do think that if he's a faithful, he's going to be the type of faithful that you have to be worried about, because he's going to fucking figure it out. Like, he will be able to kind of clock and tell people and find people's tells and all of that stuff. Yeah. So if he's a traitor, I mean, I'm all here for it. If he's a faithful, y'all better watch out, because he might clock some of these traitors.
Okay, so we're kind of going to move on here to Dan Giesling from Big Brother, unless we want to go back to Bananas.
Do you think Bananas will be a traitor, or do you think he'll be a faithful?
I feel like it has to be one of the two. It has to be either CT or Bananas is going to be a traitor. So if it's not CT, it's going to be Bananas. If it's not Bananas, it's CT. The problem is I think Banana's too well known. I think CT can slide under the radar a lot more. So I feel like they're going to make CT a traitor over the two, in my opinion.
Yeah,
What do you think,
I
Berto?
would think Bananas or CT, one of the two of them is going to be a traitor. The other is going to be a faithful. I don't know which is which, but I do know one of them is going to be a traitor, and the other one's going to be a faithful. If both
Bananas
of-
would be a good red herring, I think.
a definitely
Like,
good red herring for sure. For the first through, for like the first 2 or 3 banishments, yeah, like he's going to be the first red herring for that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know there's people that are from Big Brother that have seen the challenge. So there's people that will cover on the women's side that I'm sure know some of these people. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how Bananas does in this game because people have seen his game and knows how he plays. So I think Bananas would be a wrong move for them to make him a traitor, to be honest. I think Bananas is more likely to be in my opinion, sought out and voted out than he would be a CT. So I think that would be kind of a bad aspect on my part, on their part. But
He's gonna be giving at that fucking banishment ceremony, though.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
he's gonna be arguing down.
yeah,
He's gonna be
Johnny.
like, I think you're the traitor because you're the one that just like keeps contradicting yourselves whenever I say that this is what you've been doing, and I'm like, bullshit. That is what Bananas is gonna do.
And
I
here's the
just
other
remem-
thing.
Oh, go ahead, Kim.
Go ahead. I was going to say, here's the other thing too. Bananas relies heavily on challenges and being safe. And in this year of traders, we'll see how heavy competitions are weighted in this season because I feel like Bananas has a lot harder time if he doesn't have challenges to lean on, in my opinion.
So here's the thing too. If we can talk about that for a bit. Well, first thing I want to say is like Bananas, I mean, you see how when the challenge they used to vote in those big groups, everything that Bananas said, he almost always got his fucking way with the votes. Like almost always, you know? So he could argue down and stick up for himself. And he is not too proud to beg either. So
That's why it's giving
to
me it's giving murder for Bananas. Like they're gonna have to murder him, in my opinion.
To your point of, okay, so I'm watching currently Traders UK season 2, and they have introduced this thing in the challenges called the shield. So if you go during the challenges, they will give you opportunities to get a shield. If you do get a shield, then you are basically safe from being murdered in the middle of the night by the traders. However, you are not safe from the banishment ceremony. It only protects you from being murdered by the traders. So
question then. So let's just say for this strategy case, let's just say nobody dies, but then you were like, oh, I played the shield, but you're actually the traitor. Is that an effective strategy or no?
You can't play the shield. You can only use the shield for yourself. One effective strategy would be for the traders to get the shields so that the faithfuls are all fair game. You could also say, I'm going to go for the shield as a traitor to throw people off my scent because why would I need the shield if I'm a traitor?
The traitor. That's right. That's fair. That's fair.
So that the shield is definitely interesting. I think they're going to introduce it this season. I'm curious like how that's going to play out because it can stop things. And here's the other thing too. Sometimes the people who have the shield, it's revealed. Sometimes you don't have to say if you have the shield or not. So that's going to be interesting too, because the traders could be like, okay, we're going to banish, we're going to murder Bananas tonight. And he's going to be like, psych, I got the shield, and pull up to breakfast the next morning. And they're going to be like, oh shit. You know, so I'm curious how that's going to play out with the shield. I hope they introduce the shield because I think it does add another layer of complexity to the game.
Okay. Now we go to one of the top 5 Big Brother legends of all time. Arguably the GOAT. Arguably the GOAT. Like, you know, Dr. Will is still up there for me. But Dan Giesling. Yeah, this is definitely a great cast. Like throwing Dan in the traders is gonna be spicy. It's gonna
Something
be
Dr.
hard.
Will would never do.
10
saying.
years out of retirement. 10 years out of retirement to
Oh.
play another game.
Something Dr. Will would never do. Come for me.
Right. So, like, you know, Kim and I are team Dan Giesling. He's the GOAT of Big Brother. But, you know,
Okay, well, I'm
Berto
team
over
Dr.
there
Will.
is team Dr. Will.
I don't care. Y'all like listen. I'm not saying like listen. Dan Geesley like is arguably one of the greatest players to ever play Big Brother. Like 1000%. I just still think that like if you were to throw Dr. Will in with a game with Dan Giesling, I mean, yeah, like obviously looking at him now, he's a little older now, or what? Oh, actually, hold on, I take that back. He's a lot older, but still, if you were to have both of them in a season together, it's gonna be like either they're best friends or they're worst enemies, and I still think that both of them are powerhouses, in my opinion.
My only thing is, I think Dr. Will's getting scared. I think Dr. Will's getting washed up. I think he's giving that he would never put himself on the line to lose. Now I think Dr. Will is good at Big Brother. I just don't know if Dr. Will would be good at Traitors. I think Dan is the perfect casting type for a show like The Traitors, because Dan is so under the radar. His Big Brother game is all strategy. I wouldn't be so shocked if he's done his homework before coming in. He has strategy. And I don't know. It's giving Traitor. I feel like he could work pretty heavy with CT possibly. It's giving me like CT and Dan like duo here.
Oh my God. I would live.
So
Oh my
I'm
God.
thinking to
Would
me, it's giving
live.
like Dan and CT Traitor vibes, working together vibes. But that's just my opinion.
Dan would be a fabulous trader. He has, again, the likability factor, right?
Yeah.
He's also one of the, probably, if not the most strategic person in that house.
Yeah.
Or castle, I should say, one of them by far. He is brilliant at strategy and also managing his threat level too, I think what a benefit too is like, okay, yeah, I know these shows are super famous and stuff like that, but like in a cast this stacked, I mean, I don't think a lot of people are going to know his game. I don't think a lot of people will know his Big Brother game. We all know it because we're like nerds of reality TV and we love Big Brother. But I would say Big Brother is probably the third most famous show, or maybe even fourth.
Yeah.
Given the people from the cast.
Like, I don't think Dan is the only Big Brother player that's on this cast. You also have Rachel. You also have
Rachel was last season.
Rachel was last season.
Hold on.
Just have Janelle. That's it.
Oh yeah, well, just Janelle. So obviously Dan and Janelle, like, they're popular Big Brother players, and like obviously they know their game. But I still think that like, because if any of them are fans of Big Brother, Dan will easily skate by, but Janelle is probably the only one that will catch on to him. So but
I think Janelle is gonna work with Dan. I think the first couple of weeks I think it's in her benefit to work with Dan as much as she can in this realm. But also I think when we get to Janelle, we'll talk about it, because I think Janelle knows like bananas and knows, CT. So I think the challenge people and like Big Brother, I think they're going to kind of know each other's games, but I don't know if bananas and CT did their homework on Big Brother, because I feel like Janelle is one of those people, she keeps up with reality TV, but I don't think like bananas and CTs really keeps up with Big Brother. So I think Dan might do better than some of the challenge people, because I think the challenge people, specifically bananas, is more in circles, more reality TV heavy, right? So yeah.
Alan Cumming, if you do not make Dan Giesling a traitor, we are gonna have some fucking words, because let me tell you something. He's got everything it takes to be a traitor, and he's gonna freaking kill it. Like, he is going to kill it. And you need somebody, you need a strategist in the Traitors. You absolutely do. Yes, Janelle is maybe something to be concerned about when it comes to Dan, if especially she starts talking about how he's in, debate to be one of the greatest of all times. I mean, we saw it last season where Rachel had Cody's number and foiled Cody. Cody was a traitor last season. So Dan is going to freaking eat as a traitor, and he needs to be a traitor because he didn't come out of retirement to go home. Okay. So
what's giving to me is that they're going to be asking the cast if they want to be faithful or traitors. Like last year, so just a side note, last year they chose them without asking. This year, they're kind of doing more of a different way of how they decide if they're going to be traitors or faithfuls. So they're going to be asked first if they would even want to do it.
1000% Dan will ask to be a traitor. 1000%. He's
Yeah.
gonna be like, let me be a traitor.
Yeah.
I need him to
1000%.
be a traitor. I
He
need
needs
him
to
to
be
be
a
a
traitor.
traitor.
I also expect that Dan probably talked to Rachel going into it. I'm sure he did his homework.
Yeah.
Dan's one of those people who's not going to not do his homework going into the game. So I'm sure he watched it. I'm sure he binged it. I'm sure he's had conversations with people that have played. So yeah, I'm sure it's giving traitor for me, but
It's giving traitor.
Traitor.
It better
Yeah,
be.
It better be.
All right.
let's move to the girls.
Yep.
Let's start from the top. Let's start with Janelle. So we've got Janelle, the
Yes.
legendary Janelle.
Janelle is back. That is like her what? Her fifth reality TV appearance now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
She was on Big Brother 3 times, right? And then she did Snake in the Grass. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's her fifth one, yeah.
This is a natural progression, I feel like, for Janelle. She is a good person to play this kind of game.
Hmm.
Is she giving trainer? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think she's going to be probably one of the leaders on the side of the faithfuls to figure out who the traitors are going to be.
I think yeah.
And that could be a good thing or a bad thing, because if she starts piping up too soon, she'll get chopped. You know, it depends on who the traitors are, how she's voicing her opinions, which, you know, she likes to talk straight up. She's one of those straight up people too, call people out. That's how she does, right? So I think she's got to be careful if she's going to be throwing names out there, because while you might be on the right track, you could get chopped.
Also somebody though that is friends with Rachel Riley, right? Rachel Riley did play Traitors last season.
Mhm.
So there is a very good chance that she did speak to Rachel probably before going into the game. So we'll see if Rachel gave her any tips. I'm sure Rachel did. I'm sure Rachel was like, slide under the radar, don't cost too much at first, you know, go after the people that are going to be more messy and are there for like TV more than trying to find traitors. So I think she'll be okay for a little bit. I think if she can weasel her way with Dan, I think they can be a pretty good force. I think she might try to work with CT. She's giving like she would go after Bananas. I know she knows who Bananas is. I know for a fact she knows who Bananas is. So I would not be surprised if Janelle tries to get Bananas out, to be honest with you. And that's why I was saying I think Bananas is well known on this cast, because I know for a fact that Janelle knows who Bananas is. And I know she knows how sneaky and slimy he is. So I would not be surprised if she kind of gets the girls to go after him a bit.
Oh, it's definitely giving that. She's definitely going to be giving the leader of the girls and be like, you know what, just take out Bananas and CT out, but not too much on Dan. Like, that's how I see it through Janelle. That's definitely how I see it.
But I think Janelle loves CT. I actually think Janelle actually really likes CT. So it's going to be interesting to see how CT kind of works in this. Because again, I think to me, it's giving like CT, Dan, and Janelle vibes, like all three of them working together a little bit. But I also think Janelle can do really well with the housewives as well. But I feel like Janelle may have issues with some of the guys. Like I could see her butting heads with some of the louder men. So I could see her maybe trying to lean on Dan a little bit more, like, hey, you got to stop that.
And like, here's the thing with when it comes to the dynamics between traitors and faithfuls. As a traitor, you do want to align yourself with faithfuls, because one, you want to be like, okay, we're working on this together so that they don't suspect you. But two, you also want to be getting information from what they're talking about on the faithful side. You need an ear in the street to be like, what are they piecing together over there, so that you can choose your next action? You know what I mean? You can't just be, okay, we're the traitors and we're working together and that's it. So what I could see is like people, the traitors breaking off into different groups. I'm going to surveil XYZ of the faithfuls. You get close to, you know, ABC. and then we'll come back and say, okay, this is what these people got, this is what we got, and who needs to get voodoo. So
Now the traders can also go after each other though. That is a strategy as well later on in the game, because they really want only one trader left standing, because if there's more than one trader standing, just an FYI, they share the pot. So they share the money. So usually the traders sometimes will try to go after each other as well to try to eliminate. So sometimes, like if everyone is going after a trader and that's the name that's happening at a banishment, sometimes the traders will vote another trader out, just to give you a heads up, Berto. So it's not always like that they're gonna all like align together and work together.
Yeah, like I guess the sense of that. I mean, like it's like when you have more than one person with the same objective, that like, hey, yes, there's less of us, let's just narrow it down. But also you wanted to be the last one standing as well. So it's like it makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm. So let's move on to Parv. Janelle, by the way, Janelle to me is giving faithful.
Leader of the faithfuls. Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's where I'm split about Parv. So Parv, I think, is going to work really well probably with somebody like a Janelle, to be honest with you. She's giving more of like Janelle energy to me. I know her and Sandra have beef.
Do
they still have beef?
Well, yes and no. It's just like they're like fine with each other when it comes to conversations, but behind closed doors, they just don't respect each other. So it's like I do see them like, for strategic sense, they would work together if both of them are faithfuls. But if one's a traitor and the other one's a faithful, they're gonna gun for each other 1000%. It's a very similar CT banana situation, but the only difference is that Parvati like wants to at least work with Sandra for the time being. Sandra wouldn't want to work with Parvati at all unless it's absolutely necessary. So
Sandra is the bananas and Parvati is the CT. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So you know what? That's kind of fair. That's a good comparison. That's fine.
So I think for me, Parvati, I think Parvati's definitely one of those people who's going to lay low, like she's going to lay lower than Sandra. I don't feel like she's going to ruffle too many feathers. However, I would love to see her and CT maybe like hit it off a little bit, but whatever. But I do think that she's going to slide under the radar. However, I do think it's going to be an interesting dynamic because Sandra possibly could be coming for her, thinking she's a traitor. But I do think that I think she's going to slide under the radar because I think there's a lot of big personalities on the female side, on the women's side here. I think there's a lot of big personalities. So I think Parv isn't as big of a personality than a lot of these people on this side. So I think she kind of might skate by for that.
I don't know if she's giving traitor to me. I think if she were a traitor, she would be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
I just don't know if she will ultimately be a traitor. I mean, like, I don't know. I think I could see her playing similar role to like Janelle, trying to figure out who the traitors are. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think, and then they're gonna probably want to keep her around for the challenges and stuff too. She is really good at challenges.
Yeah.
And then she's got that whole, allure, sexiness about her that people seem to love. So, I think she'll do all right. I think she'll be able to get the guys on her side. I think she'll be able to get the girls on her side, but I just don't know if she's going to be a traitor.
I think Parvati would want to play faithful this time. I don't know if she would actually be a traitor. Like, she will only be a traitor if she feels devious at some point. Be like, hey, you know what? Let's actually be a traitor. But like, I think Parvati could go either way. To be honest, I think out of the people on this cast, I think she's probably going to be maybe one of the last minute swaps in for like. How can I put this?
Basically, she's gonna get recruited or something.
No. Well, yeah. Like maybe like they could just ask her, hey, so nobody else wants to be a traitor. Do you want to be a traitor?
Well, they will during the season. Sometimes if like there's one traitor left, sometimes they will replace people who were faithfuls into traitors.
Yeah, like I think Parvati
so
probably
she could mid-season become a traitor mid-season.
That's what I think. I think mid-season she would become a traitor at some point.
Yeah. So, okay, moving on to Sandra. So here's my thing with Sandra. I don't think there's any way in hell Sandra can be a traitor. I just don't think it could happen. I think if Sandra's a traitor, I think people will know automatically that she's a traitor. Her game on Survivor was traitor. Like if I walked into that house and I saw Sandra in there, I would assume she's a traitor just by the way she plays her game.
Yeah, okay. So this is where my Survivor superfan like knowledge comes out of me here. I think that Sandra just doesn't know how to like, just chill sometimes. I mean, like she does know how to lay low for sure, but she doesn't know how to like, when talking to people, she doesn't know how to chill down a little bit. Because whenever she gets confronted, she gets very combative, and it's giving, like when, like it's giving like when you lie, you get really loud and you're trying to be very convincing. That's the problem with Sandra. Like I do think that she wants to be a traitor, but is gonna fail badly. That's what I think. I don't think that Sandra is like if Sandra actually pulls it off being a traitor, then like I would not be surprised, because I do think she could go either way, being a good traitor or a bad traitor. I just think for Sandra in this case, she's probably gonna have a very hard time with the challenge aspect. Since they might just like take her out early, be like, what, Sandra is like she's giving traitor, but we don't know she's a traitor. But let's just get her out because she sucks at challenges. Do you get what I'm saying? So
It's giving that to me too.
Listen, to me, it's giving too obvious if they make her a traitor. That's just my opinion. I think she's automatically going to be targeted as a traitor. So I think it's like she's going to go out as a faithful because people are going to think she's a traitor, in my opinion.
Or
so
she'll
I think
go out because she sucks at the challenges.
But there's no way that I think that
or.
they're going to make her a traitor. I don't think she's. I just don't see there's any way that they make her a traitor. I think it's way too obvious, in my opinion. I think the traitors, if you notice from the first season, the traitors they kind of are more low key players. So I just think Sandra has way too much of a boisterous personality to be a traitor, which is why I also don't think Bananas will be a traitor, because I think Bananas is way too well known and he plays his game too traitorish to be a traitor. I think people are going to think he's a traitor, but he's not.
See, the thing with Sandra, and I think I brought this up earlier, but if like a production were to ask Sandra to be a traitor, she'd be like, "Oh, give me the traitor. I will absolutely destroy them. Let me be the traitor." And then next thing you know, she's like the first traitor out. Like that's what it's giving to me. I'm sorry. That's just
right. I think she would definitely want to play the traitor role for sure. Like I think if when they go through the poll and they ask who wants to play the traitor, I just don't think production will have her be a traitor.
No,
I think they're going to want
too obvious.
There was a sound bite in the promo of her saying, like, I think speaking to Parvati, like, I'll play with her, but if I have to, I'll cut her the first chance I get. So that makes me feel like, are you cutting her on the faithful side, or are you chopping her because you're a traitor?
Yeah.
I just feel like, to me, it's giving just like too obvious to be a traitor, in my opinion. I feel Sandra is going to have to be a faithful. I think it's going to be interesting to see her play the game as a faithful, because I think there's a strategy to play both sides, right? Like when you're faithful, there's a strategy to play a faithful and there's a strategy to play a traitor. And I feel like it's going to be interesting to see people like a Bananas and like a Sandra play the faithful role, because they're so used to playing the traitor role in their seasons,
and
right?
It would be good to have both Parv and Sandra as faithfuls, because they're naturally going to be suspicious of each other anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that helps to keep the traitors in the mix a little bit longer as well. So yeah, I'm going to say faithful for Sandra. I don't think she's going to be a traitor.
I'm going faithful for Sandra.
I'm going to traitor for Sandra. Only because I like knowing Sandra. That's exactly what she's gonna do. She's gonna ask to be a traitor badly, but production's not gonna do it. But like, I still want to see if production actually gives Sandra traitor, because then she'll be the first traitor out. No matter what position she'll be in, she'll be the first traitor out. 1000%.
Okay, let's move on to Trishelle.
Trishelle, we have not seen you on TV in some years, girl. Did she do All Stars? The challenge All Stars?
I think she did All Stars. I think she did one season of it. Don't quote me on that, but I think she did.
Yeah, I kind of think she did too, actually. Trishelle, I mean, she'd be a great traitor. I mean, she has been away from the limelight for a little bit. She still played strategy and competition style games. She, can pull her weight in challenges. She is loud. She is feisty and fiery. Yeah, I think she would be a great trader.
I think she goes after bananas.
She definitely goes after bananas.
I think she for sure, her and Janelle are like for sure going to go after bananas. I think. Trishelle, I think, is more likely to play with CT because I think she's more of a CT type player. For Trishelle. But I could see Trishelle being a trader. I could see her and CT being a trader, to be honest. Which would be kind of interesting duo there, dynamic between the two
I wonder
of them.
if they would make 2 challengers traders though.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's why I
that.
don't think she would be, but I think she would be a good trader. I do think she would make a good one.
Definitely, they're gonna have one challenger be a trader.
I think they're gonna have one challenger, probably one housewife, and
somebody from CBS.
CBS.
Yeah, like I think something tells me like I don't think like definitely a Big Brother player, either Janelle or Dan are gonna be well, actually, it's very likely Dan could easily be a trader. Definitely a challenge is gonna be a trader. And maybe a Real Housewife for sure. Or
I think they're going to do a Real Housewife. I think they have to because I don't think they could do all 3 of them as like reality TV celebrities, in my opinion. I think they have to put people who haven't played reality TV games as a trader. So
well,
that's
you mean strategy games. You mean competition show.
That's what I mean, like competition shows. Yeah. I don't think they can make 3 people who have played competition shows traders. I think that they're going to have to do people that haven't played the game.
Somebody that's going to learn the game as it goes on. Yeah. I think you're right. Like a student of what these competition shows are for sure. Because they had that with Christian last year. Can you shut up, Finn? Excuse me.
Yeah, and then look, they had Ari too, you know what I mean, kind of come in last minute as a recruit, right? Who also didn't know anything really about reality TV competition shows, right? So I could see them doing like maybe 2 reality TV people and then like a housewife or opposite.
And here's the thing too. So there can be 2 to 4 traders. We're thinking it's 3 because that's what it was the first season. But on UK right now, there's 4 traders. So what they did was have the 3 traders selected by the host, and then the 3 traders recruited a 4th. So with that element of recruiting somebody into the traders mix, then I could see a possibility where you get 2 challengers or 2 Big Brother people or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, because you're going to be recruiting somebody into the mix. And I think they're going to want somebody strategic as well. I don't think they're going to choose like a.
Now, here's the thing though. There are more women than there are men. And there might even be 2 more women than there are men. So in my opinion, I think that automatically shows that there's probably going to be at least 2 women traders, in my opinion. So I think based on the numbers game, they're going to do 2 men, or they might do 1 man and then 2 women if it's 3. And then I think if it's 4, they'll probably do the same and then they'll have somebody recruit. So then it might be not even that in that case. But I think there's going to be at least 2 women, and I think there's going to be 1 man. And then if they recruit, there might be another guy, if that makes sense. But I do think that there's going to be 2 women for sure.
Okay.
Because
Trishelle, I feel like trader potential. Maybe she'll be a faithful, but she's giving trader potential for me. I think.
Yeah. So let's move on to Peppermint. Oh wait, Berta, you want to say something?
No. Like I was gonna say, like Trishelle, like is basically the challenge version of Janelle for me in terms of like personality wise. So it could go either or for me, but I'm gonna say faithful for right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Peppermint, she was on, or they were on RuPaul's Drag Race. They were a finalist. They are very sweet, I think, in general, like kind. I think also like smart, and I feel like they're gonna have a great social game in this house. I don't see them going early. I don't see them getting booed like with the quickness. I do see them going pretty far. But here's the thing: the glasses are giving me like in this promo picture, like you're figuring people the fuck out.
It's giving faithful for me.
It's giving faithful, and you are a good faithful. Like you got people's tea. Like that's what this photo is giving me.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I think like if they make Peppermint a traitor, I think Peppermint is going to be slept on. Like no one is going to see Peppermint as a traitor at all. And I think that if they were to do that, Peppermint could easily win it as a traitor because something tells me that Peppermint is going to take any kind of information and just gives it out to the rest of the players, and then they duke it out. So I don't think Peppermint will be looked on at all. I think Peppermint will just be flown under the radar, and if Peppermint were to be considered a traitor, then they could easily skate by and then just
Win the whole shit.
Yeah, so
Peppermint to me is giving faithful for me. I think they are gonna be very figuring out a lot of people. I think the faithfuls aren't gonna want to turn on them because I think they're gonna be working really heavily for the faithfuls.
I think Peppermint is gonna be one of those people where they'll take all the traitors out and just be the last traitor standing, but then just could constantly just be thrown under the rug. To me, I still think it's a traitor. I don't know why. I just like the promo pic is just giving me, I'm gonna read you, but I'm gonna be the last one standing. That's just how I see it. So Peppermint is a traitor for me.
Okay.
I know it's a hot take. It's a hot take, but I
like it. I like it.
It's a good take. It's a good take. I could see it. I could definitely see what you're saying too. Like, yeah, if they are a traitor, they definitely have a potential to win the whole game.
Yeah.
I think the thing is like I think Peppermint's gonna go far either way. I think they could be recruited on later in the game. I also think to be a traitor. I also think that Peppermint it could be one of the last faithful standing too. I mean, the objective is to get the traitors out, right? So, and the traitors' objective is to last longer than the faithfuls. So, I mean, just because they are a traitor doesn't mean they can't win as a faithful, right? So, I mean, even if they are a faithful, they could still go far and win the game. You don't just win just as a traitor, right? So, I think Peppermint either way, I think does pretty well no matter what role they're in. Let's move on to Tamra. I'm sorry. I'm going to start. I think Tamra 1000% is a faithful.
Ugh.
Tamra is very Tamra is like the Janelle version of Real Housewives. I feel like she's very loud, opinionated.
Now she wishes. No, she is not the Janelle.
Here we go. Now you two figured it out.
She is a rat. She is a rat. She is gross. She's disgusting. She's now not even on a housewife. She's just talking shit about them on her little podcast with her other fired rat friend. She is a piece of work. A nasty piece of work.
Not a nasty piece of work.
Yeah, she is. Tam Rat is her real name. So let's use her real name.
Because she's a rat, I don't see that she's a traitor. I just don't. She just doesn't give me traitor.
No,
and I think if she was a traitor, she would suck. So
okay,
she's not going to be a traitor from the Real Housewives. I don't think so. She's going to be a faithful, but she's going to be somebody that people are suspicious of being a traitor.
Okay, now I don't watch any of the Real Housewives, so at some point I might need to just take a back seat. But what's Tamra's personality, if you don't mind me asking? Just so I can see if I can get a
Okay, Kim, you describe her.
Yeah. So I would say Tamra is she's very opinionated. She's very loud. She doesn't hold back. She will tell you how she is, how it is. But
she's
also
a pot stirrer.
Yeah, she likes to stir shit.
Cause a lot of drama.
She goes through a lot of friends, stuff like that. So I think she's just one of those people that she's going to be there for the chaos and the drama, I think. So I think she's going to be definitely on the girl side. I could see her, Janelle, Trishelle, possibly kind of teaming up a little bit, but I think that she's definitely going to be a faithful.
Yeah.
I think she's going to rub 90% of the cast the wrong way. I could see her going early, to be honest, because she's so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandy went early last year, and Brandy I felt like would have been like, and Brandy was suspected pretty early for being a traitor. And she reminds me, I like Brandy a lot more than I like Tamara, but she does kind of give me the same kind of vibes.
Brandy was voted off because she was clocking the traitors. She had all of them figured out week 2
Yeah.
or day 2 or whatever.
So she
Brandy
was good.
clocking all of the traitors. So Brandy has also played Big Brother before. So Brandy's a little bit more like a level up from what I think Tamara will bring to the table. But she's got a shitty reputation. And here's the thing too. So she is cast with 3 other housewives, and she has a podcast talking shit about housewives. I'm interested if those dynamics are going to come into play. If she's said or spoke negatively about any of these other women on the cast, they're not going to want to fuck with her. They're not going to want to work with her. So I could see her leaving pretty early, and it is giving faithful, but I think it's going to be one of those ones where people are like, we think you're a traitor.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Phaedra. Since you don't know a lot of the housewives, Berto, do you think she's a faithful or a traitor?
Based off of that?
For Tamara. Yeah, for Tamara.
Oh, for Tamara. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the one next to me. Yeah, like it's giving faithful. It's gonna be like, it sounds to me she's kind of like a mix of Janelle and Sandra, so it's like, yeah.
She reminds me a lot of Janelle. But
Okay.
Janelle's a lot, but Janelle's like Louis Vuitton, and Tamara's like Walmart bag.
Tamara's like, what? Okay, faithful for me. That's all I need.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
all I need.
So Phaedra Parks, if there is any housewife in the traitors, it's for me, it's gonna be Phaedra.
Okay.
She is she's like kind of this Southern belle. She's educated, she's a lawyer, she's also a mortician. She's got like all these degrees, but she's somebody that is very sneaky and shady and keeps a lot of secrets. She holds her cards very close to her chest, to the point where, I mean, homegirl lied about the due date of her baby and like was sitting in a room lying to these ladies' faces like, oh yeah, I think my baby's due this and that. Like you would never be able to get a fucking straight answer out of Phaedra. So she would be really good as a traitor, I think.
Yeah,
And I also think that go ahead.
You don't think she would be sus as a traitor at all? Like, you think her lies are that good?
I think that she'll be able to lie easily. And I also think that she'll be able to learn the game quickly. Because, okay, you haven't played strategy games, but you were, producing behind the scenes a lot of shit on your, Real Housewives sort of journey. And so yeah, I think she'll be able to lie easily. I also think she is very like somebody that people like she's funny, she's charming. Like, again, I told you she has this like Southern belle like air about her, like some, I mean, this is up for debate whether she's classy or ratchet, but she comes off classy but then does ratchet stuff. So at the same time, I do think she would be probably the best if there's going to be a housewife, which something tells me there is. I mean, there's 4 of them on the cast. If there's going to be one housewife to be a traitor, I think Phaedra would probably be the best out of all of them.
Yeah, I think Phaedra for sure. The only thing I think is I think we're going to see a lot of the Real Housewives turn on each other. So I think that's the only concern that I have for Phaedra is Sheree and Larsa and Tamara going to know that she's a good liar and is going to suspect her? They could possibly. I don't know about Tamara and Larsa because they're not all right in the head, but Sheree could very well be like, oh, Phaedra's a traitor. But I think Phaedra is able to blend in enough that I think Phaedra with the rest of the people could be a traitor. The thing is, I think if you're faithful, you have to be convincing enough to convince other people to also think that somebody's a traitor, right? And I think that's the problem. So I think for me, like, I think Phaedra is convincing enough that she can convince people one way or the other that she is or she isn't a traitor, right? Or if somebody else is a traitor, I think she's going to have a lot of influence, is what I'm saying. So I think that she definitely slide by. I think she's more, like B said, I think out of all the housewives, I think she's giving more traitor to me. But I think we can kind of speed through the housewives because Berta doesn't really know a lot about them.
And I think I do. I know you guys were saying you see Tamra working with Trishelle and Janelle. I don't. I see Phaedra working with Trishelle and Janelle and Parvati. Like I could see Phaedra filling. She's got more of the personality, I think, to be cool with them than Tamra.
Well,
would.
Janelle did comment on Tamra's post, on one of Tamra's posts. Post.
I mean, well, she
traitors.
knows her now, right?
So I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that reads into anything or not. But yeah, I think out of everybody, I think Phaedra definitely is like that. So I don't know if Berto wants to weigh in or if you just want us to move on to the next housewife since there is going to be 2 more.
I think Phaedra, based off of what I'm hearing, is probably going to be a faithful, actually. Reason being is that, like, yes, she sounds like a compulsive liar, but I think it's gonna be a red herring, being like, people think that she's a traitor when she's actually a faithful, and everyone's gonna be like, huh? Like that's what it's giving to me. But yeah, like, I'll make Phaedra a faithful to me.
I'm gonna bring up the diversity and inclusion point. We're not gonna have 3 white traitors off the rip.
No, wait, hold on. Like, oh wait, no, I get what you're saying.
We won't have 3 white traitors off the rip.
I think that
They're gonna be one person of color up in that traitors.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be 2 women.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be one. I think there's got to be. It's either between, in my opinion, Sheree and Phaedra for a traitor, in my opinion, because there's going to be one housewife, in my opinion, or it's going to be Peppermint.
That's what I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Peppermint.
it's Peppermint or Phaedra or Sheree.
Or the other one is going to be, I think, probably Trishelle. But that's just my opinion.
Okay, Larsa, let's move it on. Larsa is not going to be a traitor. I mean, we talked about it. Her man's in the game. It would be stupid to have, you know, her be a traitor and him not. She wouldn't be able to pull it off. She's dumb as a box of rocks. She's been plumped and poked with all that silicone. It's probably gone to her brain. I don't think she's going to be the freaking strategic mastermind of the season. I could see her going early, actually. Just, you know, depending on if she rubs people the wrong way or not. And if she sucks at the challenges, I could also see it. I mean, I know she probably works out. I don't know. Actually, does she work out?
I don't know. She's giving me like blow up doll. That's what she's giving.
Yeah,
she's giving like
a BBL like blow up doll. Exactly. So I don't know if she works out. If she's a liability in the challenges, I could see her getting the Sandra treatment and getting booed up pretty early.
Yeah.
Faithful
So,
though for me.
If she's faithful for me. I think if it was between Larsa and Marcus, I already said I think it would be Marcus. That would be a faithful, or that would be a traitor.
Okay, Miss She by Sheree Whitfield. Sheree she works out. That bitch is strong. She's gonna be good at the challenges. She is loud. She has a big personality. She loves to read. She loves to dig up dirt. They call her the bone collector. Okay, that's her reputation in Housewives. So yeah, I mean, if she's the bone collector, they might have her figure out what's going on behind the scenes. So I think she's gonna be a faithful.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can finish it out, B. Yeah, your mic's off, but I think Sheree, we already talked about it. Between Peppermint and Sheree and Phaedra, I think one of them is going to be traitor. Sheree doesn't really do much for me. I think she could be maybe a little bit. People might be. I don't want to say like. I just think she has a very loud personality, so it could rub some people the wrong way. I have the same Stanley, by the way. But anyways, the same color and everything. But anyways, yeah.
Not a promo for Stanley. We are not endorsed by Stanley.
But by the way, yeah, so I think she does nothing for me. And honestly, the next two people don't really do much for me either.
She's gonna
So
be great. I think Sheree's gonna be great as an ensemble part of the cast. I get why she got cast. I do want to see her like get in there and mix shit up and try to get tea on people and cause drama and stuff. But I just don't think she's gonna be a traitor. I think as her reputation precedes her of being the bone collector, she was cast with the purpose of figuring people out and being and like trying to put the pieces together and be a faithful and try to figure out who the traitors are.
mhm.
Okay, MJ Shaws of Sunset. I don't watch that show. I don't know anything about her.
Me either. I don't know anything about her, but if I know Shaws of Sunset, the last person that played traitors for Shaws of Sunset was like First Boot. So I have a feeling that MJ could very well be in that same category, unfortunately. I feel like it's going to come down to usually First Boots are people that people don't know. They don't know the shows. They don't know how they are. That's kind of how it was last season on season 1.
Bergie, everybody. I would like to nominate Bergie for First Boot, please.
So she's giving early boot for me.
If we're getting
unfortunately.
rid of the irrelevance, I'm just gonna throw Bergie in there. I think he would be great to go first. But MJ, I mean, she could be like just based off of her thing. Like she looks like she could be like a nice girl, but she'll like go early. I'd be surprised if she was like some like raging bitch or like edgy or anything like that. I would be very shocked. I'm curious to see. I'm curious to learn more about her.
And then this girl, Ekin-Su. I'm sorry. I think she's also going to be, I think she's going to have a hard time in the house. I don't know much about her. I don't know much about her personality. I don't know if she can hold her own with this cast, but
I think she's a winner of Love Island.
mm-hmm.
I think she won her season. Let me fact check that real quick. I'm not sure. I believe she did. Or she's actually pretty famous in the Love Island world.
So I think that she would be okay, but the thing is, I just worry about her not being well enough known, kind of. So I feel like she could possibly be like First Boot vibes, only because of that. Because sometimes people in these games are like, well, I don't really know them and I don't really know how they play, so I'm just going to try to vote them out.
Okay, so she is the winner of season 8 of Love Island UK. She entered as a bombshell on day 3 and she won next to Davide. From what I hear, her reputation is she's very fiery and feisty and will argue down. I don't think she is like a pushover. I don't think she's somebody that if is going to be nominated or whatever is just going to like lay down and take it. Her face too is giving like RBF, resting bitch face.
Yeah.
Like, don't mess with me. Like, I think she could probably surprise us and maybe even make it a little bit further if she is able to integrate herself with the women and the guys. Well,
I think she's going to be, I think Johnny Bananas is going to love her first and foremost. Everybody else I think is taken. Sure. So I think Bananas is automatically going to eye himself on Ekin-Su. What's her name? Ekin-Su?
Ekin-Su, yeah.
Ekin-Su or Parvati. He's going to try to go for that. In my opinion.
MJ. I mean, MJ is giving too.
Yeah, but I just don't see MJ being like Bananas. Like, I think Ekin-Su is way more of like that's like Anfisa from the from House of Villains vibes for me. Yeah, I see her. I don't know. I don't know if she'll go for Bananas, I don't know if she knows who Bananas is. So. But I feel like Bananas is definitely going to try to go after her. Not after her, but like
probably like a grandfather, like compared to her. I think she's really young. So but if she's fiery and if she like speaks her mind and this and that, I could see her going far. I don't think she'll get like, there's slimmer pickings or like, easier pickings ahead of her. I definitely think. And then, okay. So she's giving me, I don't know. I honestly don't know because the face is giving traitor, but then I don't know enough about her to see if she would be. I don't think she will be a traitor, actually.
I think she's a faithful. And I think B and I talked about this. So we kind of just went through the whole cast here. But we did talk about there has been like rumors from these photos that some people could be traitors based upon like the people wearing hats or the people this or that. So for me, it's giving like eyebrow. So if you look at the eyebrows of some of these people, that's kind of what I'm looking at when I look at this. So for me, like if you see Phaedra, like look how high her eyebrows raised on Phaedra. Now, if you go back to like Dan on the men, which I can't scroll back because Berto's not here. But if you go to Dan on the men, he also has that same eyebrow. Now, if you look at Peppermint also has that same eyebrow.
The eyebrow.
So it's giving eyebrow. Parv also kind of has it a little bit. So
I don't see it with Parv. I think it's just her angle.
But these two, Phaedra and Peppermint, definitely have the eyebrow raised. And if you look at the other side as well, there's two guys that have eyebrows raised. Now,
Dan
the
and
eyebrow,
CT.
The eyebrow raise for me is just that's just my opinion for the eyebrows. People have said that they think it's the people with the hats, which would be Trishelle, Dan, and CT, right?
It would be Trishelle, CT, and Marcus.
And
I
Marcus,
don't think
okay.
it's going to be the people with the hats. I think,
but I just don't see there's any way Marcus is a traitor. Like, I just think that eliminates that whole hat theory. Now, I have come up and said it could be people with something on their head. So it could be somebody like Trishelle, Parvati, and who was the other one on the men's
CT
side?
And Marcus. CT and Marcus. Yeah.
CT and Marcus. I also have said there's people that have something on their necks. So some people are wearing higher up shirts. Now, I don't know because that would like leave Tamara and stuff. But to me, it's the eyebrows. So I think Peppermint, Phaedra. Yeah. If you look at Peppermint and you look at Phaedra, they're giving traitors by their eyebrows, in my opinion.
Peppermint, Phaedra, Dan, and CT, by the eyebrow theory, are the traitors. We do have one more thing to talk about, though. I have heard rumblings that they are going to bring in another female. Yeah.
So B has heard this as well, correct?
Yes, the icon, the legend of Traitors season 1 US, Kate Chastain, is rumored to be returning back into the castle in Scotland to play the game. Now, Berto, you haven't watched season 1, so we'll just give you some tea on Kate Chastain. She was basically the narrator of the Traitors last season, along with, Suri. But she basically had a rough go. They thought she was a traitor from the beginning, and she's like, I'm not a freaking traitor. Like, I'm telling you, I'm not a traitor. And so, like, literally every week somebody would be throwing her in to get votes as a traitor. And little by little, she would survive and inch her way through the banishment ceremony, make it through the round table. And ultimately, she did make it to the finale before getting the chop. People still thought
her
she
and
was
Rachel
a traitor.
also had beef. Her and Rachel also went at it during the season.
An iconic beef, like dragging each other's outfits. Like freaking Kate was throwing challenges. She was like, I don't even give a shit about the money if you guys all think I'm a traitor anyway. Like, just send me home. Like, doing crazy shit. Like, she was like awesome on the show. Honestly, she was so good, and you'll see that when you watch season 1. You'll love her. But she is rumored to be coming back. Now, I wonder, do they make her a traitor or do they make her a faithful?
So that's my thing.
Faithful.
I feel like she's going to come in late. I think she has to be a traitor. That's my opinion. So I don't know how they're going to go about announcing her. I don't know how they're going to go about bringing her in. Is she going to be, because I feel like if they bring her in super late, she can't be a traitor, right? I feel like if they bring her in at the beginning, there's a chance she could be, but then people are going to probably suspect if they bring her later than everybody else that she's a traitor because she's obviously not on our cast list, right? So in that way, she could be a faithful, right? So I think it depends on how they go about it. But also, it's giving that there's going to have to be 2 because now we have 3 more women than we have men, or 2 more women than we have men.
I think they're going to bring her in as a faithful, and I think she's going to be like, you faithful suck. You haven't been able to get anybody. Like, on my season, I was at least clocking them. People weren't trying to, believe me, but I need to come in and help you guys because y'all are freaking getting steamrolled. That's how I see them bringing her in. And hopefully they'll believe her this time. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why, like, I think it definitely leans towards 4. And I think that it definitely leans towards at least 2 women. in my
I
opinion.
swear, bitch, if we're right with the eyebrow theory, we're gonna have to get our 10s because nobody was saying that shit. And I was like, I don't know, girl. That little
No, I was
What's
like, the
giving?
eyebrow raise for me gives me the eyebrow raise for me.
so
But they could be telling them to raise their eyebrows too, to like kind of
right, and just
make
use
people
like
think.
that
Yeah.
picture or whatever.
Yeah, to make people think that. But yeah, so I think it's going to be an interesting cast. I think the cast is really, really lit. I would love to, after the season, do another like podcast about who we think should be on next seasons, because I think obviously some of this cast is very interesting. And I think that I think there's some that they could have left at home. And I think there's some that are going to be iconic, and I think we're excited, but I am excited that it is all reality TV personnel this year. Because
Or
it was
celebrity of some celebrity.
Exactly. Some sort of celebrity, E-list celebrity of some sort. But I am giving like it's not giving TJ Maxx anymore. It's giving like, it's not giving Ross or Walmart anymore. It's giving like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, because those new people last year were just like so bottom of the barrel. I'm sorry.
I love how Kim just randomly just like looks at a set of casts and then just compares them to a brand. It is so funny. I'm just like, damn, you're comparing them to Marshalls? Sheesh.
I'm sorry. I mean, Marshalls is technically like the nice version of Ross.
I'll give this cast Saks off the rack, off fifth. I'll give it Saks off fifth.
No, this cast is lit.
They've got heavy hitters. You're not gonna tell me a cast with fucking Dan Giesling out of retirement.
No, I didn't say that.
Marshalls.
I said last season was giving like Walmart, and this one's like definitely a step up from that.
No,
this season is
Saks
giving
off fifth because this is a good cast. Yeah, this is a good cast. I'm really curious. I cannot wait to watch Dan on TV. That's like the most thing that I'm like excited about. They better make him a fucking traitor. I swear to God.
Us down. I swear he better not let us down.
I swear he better be a traitor. I will literally throw my fucking remote at the TV, and our next podcast I will be cursing that to the heavens. So we've got the first 3 episodes launching on the 12th, and then they will launch weekly episodes after that. Yeah, I'm excited.
So I think we definitely can cover the first 3. The first 3 we'll kind of do it as they come out. And we'll cover the first 3, and then we'll do like the weekly after that. And then at the end, we can do one that's like predictions for next year, like who we would like to see cast next year, and then maybe compare it to when the next cast is released, because I'm sure it'll get renewed for season 3. So kind of see who we're right on predictions. So I think that's the best.
Homework. You got to watch the first season. Watch UK. The UK, I've just started the season 2. It's giving. I'm not going to front. It's giving. I like who they have. And it's a little bit more low budget than this one is. This one like is beautifully like shot, and like the host from the UK one is giving too, but Alan Cumming is like a fabulous host. Like, oh my God.
He's really good. That was a really good hosting.
Yeah, the production value is up there. So
but is UK all celebs, or is UK all regular people?
No, it's regular people. But you know what's interesting about the UK one is that they cast people from all different ages. Like I was watching the first episode of UK. Treble, shout out Treble, told me to watch it. And I was like, damn, they cast a motherfucking bingo hall up in here. They had so many old people.
Bingo hall?
It looked like a fucking retirement home. I was crazy. Like, what the hell? Why is half the cast like over 60 years old?
That's crazy. That's giving. I'll have to watch it. That's on Netflix too, right?
No, you're gonna have to get your VPN and get BBC iPlayer.
I think they may be able to watch season 1 of The Traitors on Rogers TV, because I think they might have a network that that would allow me to watch it. I'm not 100% certain, but I was able to watch Love Island Games through that. So
well, season 1 of Traitors is on a streaming channel, isn't it?
But I think that might be an old Traitors, because I know that this show got revamped.
Right.
So season 1 of UK was last year as well.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think you can watch season 1 of USA on. It's on Netflix, right?
Or is it on Peacock? It's on Peacock.
Oh, wait, Peacock.
Yeah, you should be able to watch it on Peacock.
Okay. Then I'm pretty sure that like I'm able to see it. No problem.
Yeah, I don't think you need a VPN for that, right? You just need a
No.
Peacock account. Yeah, you should be able to watch it. It's easy. And you should be able to, these will be on Peacock too. So just, well, I mean, you should have a Peacock account anyways.
I'm not too far away from you guys. I'm like 2.5 hours away from Michigan.
Right,
and
come on
Buffalo.
over, Berto. Come on over.
Come to the dark side. Speaking of, I have to make sure
We'll
my,
watch the episode.
I have
together.
to make sure my Peacock account is still like good and active. Speaking of, but anyways, yeah, so I'm excited for the season. I'm excited. Hopefully it's going to give, and I'm excited. Berto's got
Yeah.
homework, and tomorrow's
Yeah.
Berto's
We
birthday, so
got-
let's give him a shout out.
Yeah,
Yay.
happy birthday, Berto. We love you. We appreciate you. Our
We're happy to have you on the
Strat-
team.
strategy king over here.
Yeah.
And Berto does games, man. He hosts games. He's a
Yeah.
brilliant host for any online games as well. So, you know.
Yeah. So like us.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking at my Peacock to make sure I have it. But yes.
So
I
on
like-
this podcast, we're going to be covering a lot of shows. Obviously, we're starting with The Traitors, but we met all through Twitter, being fans of Big Brother, and then later on started talking about Survivor 45. So we'll be covering, The Traitors, Big Brother, Survivor, any competition show. That's what we're here to talk about because
Yeah.
we are just lovers of games, competition, strategy. So hence the name Game On Bitch.
Bitch.
Because we
Bitch.
want everybody to fucking game the fuck on. We want
think-
these bitches to game on.
And I honestly couldn't have picked two better people to do this show with because I feel like B is like my partner in crime. And I feel like Berto also is like just so out of pocket with us as well. But I also feel like Berto also balances us out. So I feel like it helps. And I wouldn't want to talk game with anybody else because Berto will tell me how much the strategy of certain people sucks. So I really need him to get caught up on this show so he can tell us how bad everybody sucks.
Trust me. I like I just have this this fixation of being like, y'all are idiots. Why are you not look at what they're doing? It's really not that hard to figure out. Maybe I'm just looking at it from an audience perspective, and maybe if I was actually in the show, that I would be humbled. But as of right now, I'm looking at y'all be like, it's really not that hard to figure out. You just gotta read their face and read their body language. But yeah, I would probably have a lot of binge watching to do for season 1, not gonna lie, but
Yeah,
I'll
you got this. It's only like 10 episodes. It's pretty quick. You'll be able to
It's gonna
knock
be
it
so
out.
much better for you to talk about it too, because if you watch it, then you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
how this goes now.
yeah.
So you'll be way
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
if you
Before we
watch
get to the
it.
big leagues.
And who
before we
doesn't
get
want
to
to
the big
watch Sari? I mean, Sari is awesome too. I know you love her, so
Before we get to the big leagues, I think it's last season was the minor AA team, and this is the big leagues. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
and I think they are going to change it up a little bit. So I think it's one of those things. But
So
yeah,
the consensus we have arrived on is The Traitors will be CT from The Challenge, Dan Giesling from Big Brother, Phaedra Parks, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Peppermint, RuPaul's Drag Race.
yes,
Those are the 4 are very likely to be traitors.
yeah,
I think that's a good. I think
I
that's
think
good.
that's- I think that's a good pick. We'll see
Yeah.
how accurate we are. We're gonna come in next week and be like, we were so off, or we're gonna
none of
be
them
like,
none
or
of
we're
them
gonna be like, we're so spot on. So
If they
let's
make
see.
Bergie a traitor, I'm writing.
B is
I
gonna
feel
be clapping. B is just gonna be clapping off at them, being like, "Why the fuck did you put this box-shaped SpongeBob ass to be the traitor? Get him out of here!
Ow.
Keep his ass."
And
Get
also,
him and
I feel like
off my screen.
I have predicted the last few winners of Big Brother before the season started, so I feel like I have pretty good read on people from cast photos. So
So right
we'll
now,
see.
who will be the last traitor standing?
it's hard. It's hard because I
Dan
think for me,
Giesling.
Yeah,
I feel like it's
nothing
hard
Dan
for.
Giesling.
I think it's definitely hard for me because I think we know these people, a lot of these people. So it's definitely much harder for me to look at the cast photos and be like, this person's giving that vibes because we know their games. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Peppermint's gonna go pretty far. I think Peppermint's gonna be a dark horse.
That's what I was thinking.
And I also think Dan's gonna go far, and I think CT's gonna go far. So I
want
think those are
Dan
the
to
people.
win,
Yeah.
but I do see a world where Peppermint wins.
I do see a world where CT goes pretty far too. So
Yeah. Like, I think, okay, hold on. Let's just actually do this. Whether they're a faithful or a traitor, who is your absolute ride or die for this? Because I wanted to actually see
Ride or die, like what? Like, what do you mean ride or die?
that you're
Like, who we
I'm
think we're gonna
vouch
take
for
it.
this. Huh?
like who we think is gonna take it.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, my money is on CT or Dan.
I'm locking Dan or Peppermint here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Berto, Dan or Peppermint. I think Dan or Peppermint. I think CT gets chopped at the end.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Dan or Peppermint. And
All
I
right,
think the
let's-
traders will win this season. I do not think the faithfuls will
Oh
win.
yeah. Like,
I'm
like,
always team trader.
listen.
I'm always team trader.
Listen, if they make Dan a traitor, it's a wrap. Like, you might as well just call it. Like, the traitors are gonna win.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they choose the people though, because I know last year it was like random, right? I think they said. So this year it'll be interesting.
They walk around very ominously and choose, and he gives you a tap on the shoulder if you have been selected.
But they said they're gonna select them different this year, so that'll be interesting to see how they
Well,
go
I
about.
think just because how they did it in the UK one that I'm watching now, they do have sit downs and the host interviews. Would you want to be a traitor or would you want to be a faithful? A lot of people said they wanted to be traitors, but do you have the traitor chops?
Yeah.
You know, that's what it ultimately comes down to. So,
Mhm.
yeah. So like that will be part of it, right? Like, what do you want to play as? But I don't think it's going to come into play too much. I think ultimately they're going to pick who they think is going to eat at the game.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right,
First
guys.
bold predictions.
First boot predictions. It's giving London guy.
It's giving Bergie to me. I really hope it's fucking Bergie.
I think it's the politician or Bergie.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
It's too
the
obvious.
politician.
I think it's the
Yeah.
politician for sure. And I don't even know why they cast him because I really feel like he's easy first boot. And I feel like what's the
Somebody's got to
point?
go first.
Yeah.
Somebody has to go first.
So, anyways, we will see you guys next week for our recap of the first 3 episodes. And we will go from there. Let's see if we're right on our predictions. So,
Game
let's
on,
go.
bitch.
Game on, bitch. Let's go.